So in reality, with going through this transition, I know, Tara, there is some issues with Brody, that you came up with a word that kind of described this phase.
It sure did. I came up with the word unpredictable, and to me that just kind of summed up this whole time. Brody typically really enjoys his playpen time. However, at any point we could put him into his playpen and he will scream and pitch a fit. The very next day, he would play contentedly in there. So it's really unpredictable during this time.
Yeah, that's why we have to have a goal, stay with it, and realize that these moments are going to occur. And it could be 2 days, 3 days, and then everything's back to normal for 2 weeks. Unpredictable is a great word.
And I know, Julie, we were chatting at one point, and there was another word that you came up with as well during this transition time.
It was. I keep thinking of perseverance, and I need to persevere. I was working for so long to teach Anna how to sign and to say please, and it just didn't seem she would get it. And then all of a sudden she did, and I'm so thankful I persevered, but I wanted to give up a lot of times.
Isn't it great, though, when they begin, because they're actually communicating with you,
Yes.
that little person,
Yeah.
and she's talking to you. Otherwise, if you didn't stay with what you were teaching her from 7 months, 8 months, all the way up, you would not have the joy of this moment, of this form of communication.
And what about concrete? I mean, there's issues. I think that's another word we kind of thought is very appropriate for this transition time. And you had a wonderful example we had talked about.
Absolutely. It kind of combined Brody being in his playpen with a good concrete example. We had him in his playpen. He was enjoying his playpen time. The very next day, again, one of these fussy sort of days. So we set the timer. But the timer was in an area where he couldn't see it. And so he continued to fuss and continue to fuss. And I thought, well, I'm just going to try it. And I moved the timer to a place where he could actually see the timer and said, when the timer goes off, we'll be all done with our playpen time. And he quieted right down and began to play. So it was really, he just needed some sort of concrete example.
Well, and it just demonstrates further the transition that they're making, just be assimilating their whole environment to who they are. They are no longer a baby, and they've got different ways that they're going to make sure we understand that I'm not a baby anymore.
They're starting to understand so much, but their communication, it seems, is so limited that we don't always know
Exactly.
what they are understanding.
Exactly. I think developmentally, really for the next year or 2 years, the concrete mode of communicating education is going to be primary, and that our children need concrete examples. That's why you just can't say, and we'll be getting there soon enough, we can't say, now be kind, be polite. We have to show them concretely, what do those words actually mean? So this is something all our parents are going to, or they're going to need to understand as they move into the toddlerhood transitions.
And there's one other word that I think is going to be very important too, and that is the whole issue of context.
Context. It is so important during this phase, because we know our goals. I know where I want to be in another 6 months, but sometimes during this phase there is a lot of context. And I think of just all these new foods and these new textures that Anna is learning. And so there's a new meal and it's put in front of her, and she's not real sure about this new texture. And so sometimes I have to pull out the Cheerios and crackers for dinner as she starts to get used to these new foods that our family eats.
It really requires greater flexibility, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
For nap times, let's say you're at the pool with the kids and it's Brody's nap time or Anna's nap time, they might just have to have their nap time there, or might be an earlier time. So
And it might just be a cat nap, because we are at the pool where usually they may take a 2-hour nap.
Exactly.
And what I want our parents to understand is that's okay.
That's right.
There's no problem. That's the benefit of a routine. It allows you to have the flexibility.
Well, and that is the key. Now is not the time to disassemble and throw your routine out, but to still use it as that guide that it has been all along, but with a little bit more flexibility. And it takes us back to our principle that we started with babyhood transitions. Begin as you mean to go.
Exactly.
Segment 2 summary, parenting goals. Learn to manage your baby's behavioral assets. Avoid creating any new behavioral liabilities. Your primary goal for the next 6 months is not to lose any ground. By not losing any ground, you are gaining ground. The word unpredictable describes what any day may look like with your pre-toddler. Persevere when things do not go according to plan. Stay mindful of your parenting goals. Concrete examples help pre-toddlers learn. Remember our guiding principle: begin as you mean to go.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to see more, and check out the growingfamilies.life website to find more resources and to get connected.